All right, and away we go for another week of TEC High School action. I am your boy Q. On the desk with me today is Potter. We're going to be hanging on board watching California area versus West Greene for our first set of the day. Potter, how you doing today, friend?
I'm having a great evening, Q, and I just can't wait to get into these games. We've had 5 minutes put on the clock already, and I'm not sure if you know, but last week I had the pleasure of casting this California area team, and Xovo was pointed out to me as a player to watch, and they proved that point just as well last week, and I believe they're going to be able to do the same again here.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see. Sometimes when you see at this level, when you have those standout players like an Xovo that I've been hearing some whispers about around the league, is sometimes that's going to be enough to be able to carry you past some competition. But as far as for West Greene here, I know they've got a pretty decent roster in their own right, so this should be a banger of a matchup.
Trying to transition it down the left-hand flank. Not too much boost to work with. Does get boomed out of the play and a boom straight into the back of the net. Xovo with the opening goal for California area.
Who else but Xovo, the player that you were talking about to look out for, able to snipe it from range. Looked like it was just going to be a big clear, but when you're passing it up towards the net like that to get it out of your zone and no one's there to field it, sometimes it's just that easy. California area going to take the lead early. West Greene wins the kickoff. They're trying to see if they can keep that pressure in the offensive zone, but it looks like to no avail.
There's a potential shot coming downfield. Two players go. Xovo now with the ball, with boost to work with. Pops it high, pops it under the crossbar, finds their brace again.
Able to make 1 into 2 in the matter of about 15-20 seconds here. Going aerial, able to put it out of the range for Tickler to try and make a play on it, and 2 goals back to back just like that. Now West Greene here to try and find a response.
And they're going to have to try and find some soon. This could be exactly what they need. Slotted straight into the bottom right corner. It's an instant response and the deficit is half.
That's exactly the type of response that you were needing there, right up off the kickoff. Able to field that off the sidewall as well, and who doesn't love the donuts animation to boot here? You've cut the lead here in half, but can you continue to keep that pressure? Now, Xovo's shown the ability to be able to put goals in rather quickly. I feel like if I'm over on the West Greene side, that's a player I'm definitely going to be looking out for in their rotations.
Absolutely, you've got no other option. You have to keep an eye onto players like Xovo and their teammates as well, enabling them to do exactly what they do as play up onto the backboard, cleared away once more by Tickler. They're starting to get a little bit of field pressure on the West Greene side as this shot trickled on that. Xovo back in time to deal with the pressure.
You can see player JD trying to see if they can get a read as this ball moves in towards the net, gets the full boost there in the corner, and going to go ahead and take this ball, moving upfield, also going to take that mid boost as well to make sure that the player rolling up on there behind from the opposition doesn't have a chance to refill their stout. Zombie all left to Xovo here. Xovo 1v1, going to be able to knock that thing aside. Now looking to try and turn defense into offense, going the opposite way, up in the air as well, but unfortunately gets sent aside by WGS.
And almost gave a free shot out to their teammate as well, but it was saved away promptly by the West Greene defense, who's looked solid ever since that second goal did go in against them, as trying to transition downfield once more with no boost. Xovo just buying time for their team, looking for a pass in field, doesn't make contact with it. It falls out to the blanked out name with a shot rifled towards that bottom left hand corner, but no shot on target. This one could trickle in. It's defended again once more by California area.
Xovo trying to be able to sweep from left to right, get control of the ball, moving that thing up the pitch, leaves it off the backboard. Player JD with a quick fake here, which might have been just enough to catch West Greene out of position. And now it's actually going to be them, though, fielding the ball, going up the field, but Xovo with the big clear, moving it back down in the West Greene territory, slots it from the corner, breaking out the protractor, and that's going to be the hat trick.
Big clear, big shot, big name player, slots it into the bottom left-hand corner. Nobody getting back in time for that one. Has the hat trick. 3 goals in the favour for California area. 2 goals for West Greene, which they need to find if they want to force at least an overtime here. They've got 2 minutes left to do so.
And they've got to see if they can find some sort of response. They did able to find one of the 2 response goals once they had the back-to-back over on that California area side, but that deficit still going to be a 2. Xovo trying to go the opposite way, doesn't even need the second touch, and that 3 goals now turns into 4, and it's a 3-goal lead.
All they need is that one shot, one opportunity, and it turns into a goal 80% of the time. A minute 37 remaining, and when the kind of goals start going in, the advantage starts to increase. You lose out hope for West Greene. They need to start getting something soon to give themselves enough time on the clock to try and get back into this one.
Now here going in towards the corner. It's going to get fielded out here, but it's actually getting sent all the way to the opposite side from Xovo. Going to try and get control of things over one defender. Actually going to get it past the other two as well. It's going to be Tickler trying to see if they can make a play, but player JD3 follows up from the pass from Xovo, and all of a sudden they just continue to run things up.
The defense parted like the Red Sea as player JD3 gets that touch off of Xovo's shot, claims the goal as their own. 5 goals now for California area, and it seems like it's only heading in one direction.
Yeah, it just seems that California area is fully in control here, completely cruising in game number 1. Of course, the good news of a best of 5 is after game number 1 is done, the scores are reset to 0, the clock reset to 5 minutes, and maybe you can find some sort of answer. But it feels like if you're West Greene here, you would like yourself a consolation goal or two, showing yourself that you have that ability. Because if there's one thing that California area continues to do, it's prove that they can pretty well score at will.
Indeed, it seems like they're doing just that. Xovo finds the 6th, and the momentum surely behind them now. They've got a minute left in this game. Game surely blown out of proportion. I'm expecting a much closer affair as we get into the latter stages of the series.
We'll be trying to see if you can move the ball up here. Izzo trying to see if you can get a second touch to leave things off the back wall, and at least keeps the ball down here on this California area side. At least for now. Rand Tickler looking for a cross there, not going to be able to find a connection. Xovo going up in the sky, and it looks like able to get up over the defender. Second touch as well. Teammates going to be able to clean it up off the rebound, and they just continue to run it up, run it up, run it up.
And all Xovo needs to do is just get that ball in the air. All the defenders jump at it to try and shut them down. It creates openings for their teammate, who slots the ball into an open net. Fruits with their first of the game and the 7th of this first series as well.
It just looks so easy right now for the side of California area. They've had so much control. 12 shots thus far compared to just the 2 so far from West Greene. California area, even when they spend time down on their defensive half, it's not very long. They're spending most of the time down here in the offensive. A peppering of shots towards the net, which just inevitably ends up creating openings. Rant Tickler goes from one side to the other, but it does get knocked down by Xovo. And when you talk about 7-1, that's the way to put an exclamation point in game number 1.
Indeed, it is. 7 goals to Brazil at that as well. And game 2 coming up. What do you think that West Greene need to do to try and get back into the series?
If I am West Greene, I am playing super aggressive. I'm head hunting and trying to get the demos, trying to get the bumps on Xovo, trying to see if you can force player JD and Vouts to have to be the playmakers here. I feel like that's how you even this field.
Well, they've got no other option. Maybe try and get their 3rd man into the series that bit more. Not necessarily sure how you pronounce that name. I'm not going to attempt that either. I'm going to just say Box 2. Box 2, they're 94 points to the name. Maybe try and get them a bit more involved, because when they don't have the ball, they can't really show what mechanics they've got, the individual prowess, which they really can convey.
We're getting ready to head on in for game number 2 here. Remember, this is going to be a best of 5. And as far as over on the side of California area, you can come out here and seize that control once more, and all of a sudden you are on series point. West Greene going to have quite the tall ask in front of them. Let's go ahead and see how game 2 shapes up.
And as you say, the best of 5, in my opinion. Game 2 in a best of 5 is the most important game of the series. You either tie it up or you face an 0-2 deficit needing to reverse sweep, and it is West Greene who don't want to be looking that dead in the eyes come the end of this game.
Here we go. We got the ball at least early down here on this California area side of the pitch, having a hard time getting the clear, but they haven't really relented any sort of real attempted shots yet. The scoreboard will show that they've got 1, but it wasn't much of a scary opportunity, as we now got a shot recorded on the other side of the field that gets sent aside by the opposition. And I feel like for West Greene, starting off with the first minute with no goals means you're off to a good start.
Absolutely, but Xovo, you can't keep him out for much longer, knocking on the door already. They try and transition it downfield. It's Rant Tickler with the opening shot. It's off the post. Exervo back in time to clear away the danger.
Exovo gets it sent aside, but not going to be able to get the clear here. Rant Tickler tries to field that thing in the corner. Going to rise to the sky here. Gets the little touch off of that 50, but it doesn't get too far into play. It's now actually Exovo going coast to coast. Looks for the second touch. The double tap off the backboard does not connect, and the ball is still sitting right up in front of the net, and it looks like West Greene going to be able to get away from this thing without letting another one by.
But Exervo still on the ball, finds the shot. All three players commit, looks for the angle, gets the opening goal as well. Opens the account for California area in game 2.
That is big here. We talked about the, for California area, if they can continue to maintain that pressure here, which Exovo able to pop the top up off the cover of that net, getting the first one in here. Only took about 90 seconds as well. Remember, it didn't take them long to find the second after they popped that top in game number 1.
Rant Tickler trying to transition it downfield. They need to find that equalizer soon. They haven't had a lead yet in this game, let alone a tied game. And Servo in the corner gets it over 1, gets it over 2. It's destined potentially towards the back of the net, but they're able to deal with the danger. They're shooting it downfield. Box 2 can't make contact with that shot. 24 boost, gonna have to get back. Rant Tickler potentially in a 1v1 situation. Ruddle looking for the bump onto the Rant Tickler, and it's just not coming through for them. No second goal. This is a much closer game than what we did see in game 1.
Yeah, they've been able to do a good job of slowing down the pace. I mean, you don't see California area with a whole bunch of control of the ball. Actually, the control really has been more over on this West Greene side. Granted, you've already got 5 shots from Exovo, but matched with 4 of those from West Greene. A 5th one they're going to be able to connect as well, and we're all tied up at 1.
What a goal it is as well. Rant Tickler using the backboard to their advantage, finds the double touch, finds it past Exervo in the net. The one person who maybe you want to knock their confidence down just that little bit can give you wonders heading into the latter stage of this game.
Pretty well at that midway point in game number 2, all tied up. You had mentioned how things were slowed down a little bit in game number 2 as opposed to game number 1. Player JD3 going to keep the ball alive, pushing it up into that top left corner here. Is actually going to get fielded out by Rant Tickler, sent to the side. Looks like even box 2 should be able to follow it up as well. Exovo the last one back though. We know they can rise to the sky, take control, misses the second touch. Luckily, you do have a third player that was lurking in the shadows, at least able to keep a bump forward. Otherwise, that could have been a huge opportunity for a counter.
And a huge opportunity for a counter here as Exervo rises to the skies once more, plants it into the top left corner, and it all came from a bump between 2 teammates in the center of the pitch, giving Exervo way too much space. And you know what they can do. When you give them an inch, they take them out.
And that's big here, able to re-extend that lead, able to re-secure that thing up, putting that pressure right back into the laps of West Greene. West Greene's got the ball though, looks to send that thing on target, sails just a tad bit wide, and now it's Exovo trying to quickly turn defense into offense, moving the ball ahead. That's going to come up off the backboard. No one able to get the clear here until Tickler comes in. Doesn't send it too far though. It's actually Exovo feeling that thing in the air, leaving it down on this side. Player JD sends one on board. You have Exovo sending a second one wide as well, and it looks like West Greene going to be able to avoid a very big scare down here on this side of the pitch.
It's onto the crossbar once more. It's rather towards the top left corner. It's just off the post. The woodwork truly keeping West Greene in this game, but they need to get the ball down the blue end of the pitch. Exervo has it across their own backboard, trying to get it past 2 players, gets it past 3 instead. One more to beat out. Exervo keeping the ball close, buying time for their team, running down the clock that little bit more, looking for a third goal as well to surely cement this advantage into the future. 1 minute remains for West Greene to respond.
They'll be able to keep the ball moving forward here, which is net positive for California area. Every second, every 5 seconds, where you're spending down back in your defensive zone, makes it where time becoming more and more of the essence. You still need an additional goal, and you haven't been able to record a shot for the last 2 minutes or so. California area has done a very good job of really seizing control, taking the reins here in game number 2. That's going to be a big old fake coming here from Rant Tickler. I think was expecting another teammate there, not able to follow it up. Exovo goes the opposite way with it, and hat trick once again in game number 2.
Indeed, and once more, a brilliant read off the backboard, using it for their advantage, slots into that favoured left-hand side of the goal. 30 seconds remain, and it looks as though the series is getting away from West Greene.
we go, 30 seconds left. California area very much in control, able to win the kickoff there. And now at this point, they just get to play keep away. You don't necessarily need to attack towards the net itself as long as you can keep the ball down here on this half of the pitch. 15 seconds left, and all of a sudden you're looking at being one game away from wrapping up this series here. You can see they're doing a good job of making sure that all of their touches move forward here. Last 3 seconds, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead for California area. And all of a sudden, West Greene here gonna be in some trouble, Potter.
Yeah, they're staring the reverse sweep in the eyes at the moment. 3 straight games of Rocket League need to be won. However, California area, with the offensive prowess which they have at the moment, don't seem like they're going to be dropping a single one.
And now at this point for West Greene, you've done a good enough job of slowing things down from where they were in game number 1. That thing went to Brazil, but still, even a 3-1, kind of hard to build up off of here for West Greene. They've got to try and figure out what they can do to really cause California area to continue to pump the brakes here. And we've seen this last game, I mean, able to pretty well limit the roles of player JD3 and Ruddle V, but Exovo just seems to be on a whole nother level.
Just seems to be the Exovo factor at this moment. If you swapped potential Exovo with any player on the West Greene side, we could have the same story for West Greene as what it seems. Hat-tricks in both games, really the star shining light for this California area side.
Time to see if West Greene here has what it takes. Maybe take yourself 1, maybe take yourself 2. If you're able to do those 2 things, you're all of a sudden look at the possibility of pulling off the reverse sweep, but it all starts with the very first goal. California area has been able to score first in the first 2 games, and Exovo only takes 7 seconds to score here in game number 3.
And Exovo, in what is a beautiful looking Esper car, slots it into the roof of the net once more. Cowboy comes out, 7 seconds as you say, and again, it looks like it's only heading in one direction, Q.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is just all about what California area is doing, right? They just seem to be on a whole nother level. Exovo out here flexing. 7 seconds for the first goal, 6 seconds to score goal number 2, and we've only been in this game for 13 seconds, down 2-0. It is not looking good if you're a fan of West Greene.
It really isn't. The bigger factor, I think, is that West Greene have not scored more than 1 goal in the game. They're now going to have to score at least 2 should they even want an overtime. They've been pushed back by 2 in less than 20 seconds. It could be 3, it could be the hat-trick already, but no, it's player JD3 to find the 3rd.
Able to just make sure that they continue to pile things on. Exovo doing a good job of being a nuisance, follows it up off the first miss. Then player JD3 lurking in the shadows, able to come from behind there, finds the opportunity to drive that thing into the back of the net. And 3 goals before we've even reached 30 seconds, matching their total that we saw in game number 2. And Exovo looking to try and see if they can continue to run it up here in game number 3.
But West Greene still fighting, coming down the blue end of the field. Exovo has ball possession, is 50'd out though by the blanked out name as Rantickler coming through. Rantickler probably being the shining light in what has been a dim affair for West Greene in this series, but I don't necessarily think that's because of their own fault. It's just because of how good California area have been in this series as Exovo finds the hat-trick and finds the 4th.
Yeah, it just feels like Exovo is just a step ahead right now and playing a little bit faster, finding those opportunities. And when you give them a wide open field like that right there, that is an opportunity that Exovo is not going to miss. 4 goals here before we officially reach 1 minute expired in game number 3. Exovo already got their 3rd hat trick here of the series as well. Talk about a dominant performance.
Dominant performance, and still 4 minutes left of it. Potentially more goals, potentially more of Exovo hat tricks in this game as they're on the left-hand side or trying to find the 5th. Does exactly that. Rifled into the bottom left-hand corner, and it's just brilliant from the main man of California area.
Yeah, it just feels like anytime Exovo touches the ball, you gotta be worried if they're sending it right on target of the net, slotting that thing into that bottom left-hand corner. 5-0. Let's make that 6-0 off the kickoff here from Exovo. And Exovo just 1 goal away from the double hat trick here.
Might as well call them murders, because everything they touch seems to be turning into a goal. 3 minutes 40, we're only in a minute and 20 seconds. Sheer dominance from the California area.
And when we talk about, still being rather early in the season, I think that just goes to show just how scary this team could be if we continue to see things going together. Because thus far today, it's been the Xobo show. Granted, we do want to make sure we're giving a big shout out to Rant Tickler. They're able to make sure that they don't go shut out here in game number 3. But when we talk about the California area side, man, that squad looks dangerous. Xobo just obviously by themselves, a very impressive performance. We've seen player JD3 have some flashes of greatness as well. And if you let those two start working together, build some chemistry with Boris 409, and look out come the end of the season.
It's absolutely that. And I don't want to call this off too early, because we've seen California area go up 6-0 inside a minute and 20 seconds. However, West Greene found one, and they've still got 3 minutes left on the clock, and anything can happen in the 5-minute game of Rocket League.
Anything can definitely happen. It definitely does look like, though, for the side of Xobo, not going to be letting the foot up off the gas, and instead actually continuing to move and push the ball forward. There is going to be the 6th goal of the game for Xobo. Back to Brazil once again for the series, and Xobo just continues to have the highlight reels.
And it doesn't look like they're going to be stopping anytime soon. Highlight reel making a montage by the end of this game. 3 minutes left of Xobo, and I suppose we need to just make the most of it and really treasure what we're able to witness it.
And you only get to see performances like this once in a great while, even if you do have a great player like Xobo here. Xobo just seems to be in their bag right now. I mean, everything, getting touched with a purpose. You even see they're able to play it patient, looking for the second and then the third touch off the wall, potentially looking for a teammate. That time to no avail, but it keeps the ball down here on this side. We've now officially reached that halfway mark here in game number 3, and unless anything short of a miracle occurs, it's going to be somewhat of a victory lap here for these last 2 minutes.
It really seems like it's going to be that way, especially when you go back to what you're referring last game, where all you need to do is just let that clock run down. The game is already won. You've got 6-goal advantage, and it's just a matter of waiting for the clock to run down at this point.
Player JD3 going to at least send that thing deeper into the corner, making sure the opportunity isn't too easy here. Xobo gets the demo, able to buy a little bit of space. Boris gets a demo as well, so that means the last remaining player here is Rant Tickler. But Rant Tickler doing a good job of being a nuisance up here at the corner. Gives an opportunity for box 2, but Xobo, just bigger, faster, stronger, able to come in with a save as well.
Rant Tickler into the corner, trying to find somebody in field, but no one's there other than Xobo's there. But minute 30 left in this game as Xobo taking to the skies once more. Just a little bit of boost to the name, enough to make plays happen. Flip reset, nothing doing though to blank that name. To try and take this one further and get a little bit of pride back for West Greene. It falls into the centre, it falls to Rant Tickler, drives past the ball. Box 2 with the shot, no contact found, and it seems like that just kind of sums up the game here for West Greene. Musty flick pass infield, no one there to really give Xobo the credit for the mechanical skills which he's got, but Rant Tickler one for their own, no flip reset found. It's onto the backboard, Xobo to deal with it once more. It's just been a solid showing from California area all round.
And here it is, Xobo now going coast to coast. This time going to bury it into the corner here. I think at this point trying to play a little bit of keep away. Remember, even just the time spent down on this side of the field, you don't need to register any more shots. You just got to allow this clock to do what it loves to do best, which is continue to dwindle closer to 0. 30 seconds left here. California area still doing a great job of making sure that they don't surrender anything here, which I think just shows you that they continue to have their mind and their eyes set on the prize.
And it's something we haven't really got to reference or respect all that much, is how good California area's defense has been. We've been there because all we've been seeing all series long is goal after goal after goal, but it's also been save after save, denying whatever West Greene have thrown at them.
Even ending it there with one last save from Xobo. Now maybe even Xobo trying to see if he can squeeze one last one. Instead, ball going to hit the floor, and California area looking dominant here in TEC high school action with a easy 3-0 sweep.
Easy at that. Xobo 1,152 points to their name. and their teammate, Boris409, has hit the ball once over the course of that 5-minute period.
Big shout out to both of our squads here. We'll be back with more TEC high school action here in a bit. Easy.
I hope we're off. Or
yeah,
the recording button's been stopped.